Hey guys, right, so the next event in my diary is senior training, which took place at 12:15 today, which is actually the last event on the diary page. It's the last event for season for World 3. So when we've done that, we can actually update the diary, and then we're starting to work on today. Obviously, if you leave the game for a while, you've got updates to do. So we're going to look at senior training, and this is the results of my training for today. So we're going to look at that in more detail. What we're going to do is we're going to set up the maximums, the max potentials, and the what do they call? Someone called them smurfing when they go blue. So the way I do it is I open up two tabs, one for this and one for the actual training, and then obviously you've got the spreadsheet ready. So you need to go to inputs for training. Now I've not set this one up yet. Yes, I have set this one up. It's all here. So what we need to do, first of all, we need to check. So the first player we've got is WWoo. So we'll just have a look for WWoo, and we see we've not set the potentials up. It may well be that he hasn't reached any potentials. He has. So he's maxed in strength, tackling and speed. So we put 1 if it's maxed out, and we put 0.5 if it's blue. So it's right, determination. Right, now the way training works for this is, first of all, it looks at the player's stamina, and if the player's stamina is less than 80, it's going to train stamina. So you see here, Woo's got 76 for stamina. I'm actually going to backtrack now. This will be up to date. Let me just check. 76. It will be up to date because we've imported the details when we played the game. But before you do your training, you need to input the stats. No, sorry, my bad. You don't do the stats. You do the skills. So we need these updated before we can start. So we'll do that. We'll pretend we've not played a game. So backtracking, our training is in. So the first thing we're going to do is skills, and we copy this all the way up to we can wander squad. I do apologise for giving you missing. Control and C, and then skills, and we paste. Now we have up-to-date stats. We can't train with that without up-to-date stats. So right now, obviously, if a player has been on the inputs, if you've got all of his, I'm just going to center that because it's just going to make it a little bit neater. There we go, bit easier to read. If you've got all of these up to date, you won't need to check them every game, every training session. The only time they'll need to change, you see this guy Lewinsky, he's now fulfilled his technique potential. I may actually have already changed it. Lewinsky technique. No, I haven't. Right. So that's the only time. Now, if I change that to a 1, and then I look at Lewinsky, which is this guy here, second from the bottom, you'll see that I'm actually not going to bother checking them because I trust them. But blue, gold, blue, blue, gold, blue, gold, blue, blue, gold, blue, red, blue, black, blue, black, gold, 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 black, black, gold, blue, blue. Yeah, so you know, obviously the only time you need to change it is if it says he has now fulfilled his potential. And what we will do is we will check each player anyway. So first player we're checking is Wu. Wu is on 76. Wu there, he's still on black, so we do nothing. So we then check the training screen. There we go. Right. The information is there. So all you need to do is just look. We've updated the stats. So Wu, 76 stamina, and stamina is not max. So it's saying keep him on stamina. So Wu, obviously he's going to be on stamina because he was before. Right, so next guy, Burlton has improved his set play from 80 to 85. So Burlton set plays 85. That's now gone blue. So we just check that. Burlton, where is Burlton? Burlton set plays. It was already on blue. And it's saying that we still want to train him on set plays, which 0.31, 0.41, 0.3. Oh, hang on. Right, let's find. Sorry, I'm finding this easy if I highlight them. So why we want set plays? I had an issue before where it was training him in handling. Of course, it's actually programmed to ignore handling if he's an outfield player. So it's looking at set plays because actually that's the only. Yeah, set plays is the only thing he can train in, other than handling. In and determination. Again, another programming thing that this has is it won't suggest intelligence and determination until the other 10 stats are full. The reason for this is to train intelligence and determination you need facilities for it. So if you have the facilities to train these, you're just going to have to keep a little eye on this. So let's have a look at Burlton. Do I want to train set pieces 85 or do I want to train determination 23? Well, in my case, I don't want to train determination just yet because I've got no coach. So I am actually going to train his set plays. Why is it giving me... Right, so I am going to stick with set plays until I get my coach, and then I will just manually adjust that. So that's that player done. So Lewinsky, as we said, his technique is now full. So because it's full, we need to make the change on the input screen. Inputs, Lewinsky, technique 1. Now it's suggesting that we train him in strength. So we find Lewinsky and we change his training. Let's just look at his strength. 72. Okay, so even though crossing is 53, right, that's the bit I actually meant to, I forgot to mention. Right. Okay, the way that it calculates the training is right, training. Okay, so it looks at how many skills it needs to be full. So let's look at this. Right, technique for Burlton is 70. So he needs 29 points until it's full. That 29 points is then weighted against his weighting for that area. So if you're weighting technique 10%, it takes 10% of 29, which is 2.9, and that's what this score is here. It's the amount of points needed to reach maximum multiplied by the percentage rating. So you'll see, let's find the series. Right, so Brilliant 70, so that's 29 he needs, and that by the time that's weighted, that comes out at 1.9. So that's weighted. I think it's weighted at about 6%. I might be wrong, but I'll do another video on those. So that's how it comes to that conclusion. So Lewinsky, even though he's got what is it, strength, why, there we go, 1.76 for strength. So tackling, for example, is much lower, but because of its weighting, it's not as important. I don't think a centre attack has much need for tackling, so that comes out at 0.29. So it's suggesting strength, so in this particular case I'm going to take the strength. So on to the next player, Zerlu. His stamina has gone from 60 to 64, so I already know that's going to come out. There we go. Right now it's still black, so we don't actually need to change any of his inputs unless we haven't got any already, which we haven't. So like no changes there, it's still suggesting stamina. So Zerlu, we're going to keep that one on stamina. So next player is Laz. His stamina is improved from 40 to 45. So again, we've already got those in. I mean, say once you've got these filled in, you just don't need to change them until it actually says. All you will need to do is it FLAS, right? His stamina is still black, so you don't need to change it, and we're keeping it on stamina. And the last player, his tackling's gone from 17 to 21. So Ras tackling 21, so that's still black. And where is Raz? And that's suggesting now shooting. Because what was it we trained before? Right, his tackling's gone up. So the amount needed weighted is 0.71, and his shooting is 15. So obviously this is I started his training before I did the weightings, but yeah, he's desperately in need of shooting, which makes sense because his shooting's only 7. Oops. Right, so his shooting's only 7 anyway, and he's a midfield centre. Now, see, I'm playing him as an attacking midfield centre. So yeah, that's my senior training done. Now, the training, it's based on his position. So let's look at those figures. Who can we look at? Let's look at this bottom guy. Right, he's a defensive midfield centre, although he's a left defence. Let's see if there's any difference. Right. Okay. Sorry, this isn't an input screen, so to do the inputs I'm just doing some little fiddles. So let's put him in multiple times. And we'll see if that, I'm hoping this works. Right, so you see that you've got the same player as in 5 times, but his numbers are different for each one. Well, obviously these two are the same because attack left, attack right are the same. So what it's doing is it's actually training, in this particular instance, it's training him to be a defensive midfield centre. On the next one, it's training him to be in a left or right side of attack midfield. This one, it's training him to be, or rather, it's training him in the stats needed for that position. So obviously, what's going to happen is, if you had, say, a left defender, then you're training him to be a left defender. So what you'll find, you see this guy here, he's got the same overall rating between left defence and defence left midfield, but we're training him in the stats needed, or that are important for a left defender. So over time you'll see this figure go up a lot quicker than this one will. This will still go up because the skills that are needed for this are still relative. So yeah, what you're trying to aim to do is you're eventually this green number is going to be green in the position that they're actually playing in, which is why placement, I think, is important within this squad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this guy while I remember. So, and I think that that's my training done now. Yeah, Rascu. So we do just need to check his. I don't know if we checked Rascu tackling. Yeah, he's still black on that one. So on the system, it's suggesting Rascu's shooting. So we're going to change it to shooting, and that's my senior training update. Now I appreciate I went off on a little bit of a tangent on that one, going here, there and everywhere. I'm just going to explain this screen. Now that I've shown you the main screen, most of this you'll have seen before. So you've got the position that he's been selected to play in, the shirt number, his name, that's his listed rating, and that's his rating. That's actually his best rating within this. So let's find someone who's not playing in his best position. Attack. Have I forgot anyone? Here we go. Right, Radu. He's playing as a defensive midfield centre. His best position is actually 56. Right. His best position is 56 attack midfield centre. However, I've got a player who's 58 there, so he's kind of been relegated to defensive midfield centre, where he's only getting 50. However, because he's been placed in defence midfield centre, he's being trained in the stats that are important for that position. So if I did this video again in 6 months' time, instead of saying 50 and 56, it might say 60 and 58, for example, or it might have to go up much higher. Or but I find this screen very important. If you sometimes what you find is, say, this player might be injured, and what you find is you might have I can't find any examples, but here we go. No, that doesn't work either. Right, you might find a reserve being played in one position, but he can provide good cover. Say, for example, a reserve centre defence might actually make good cover for a defensive midfield centre. So although I've listed him, actually this is what I mean. Right, he's right. Here we go. Right. So Bednar's, I'm playing him as attack centre. So he's rated at 62. Now Morgan, I'm playing him as attack midfield centre. Now his best position is up front, but I'm training him to be an attack. Now he is cover for Rakusa, who's rated at 58. I've just seen my floor there. Oh, I've just seen a nice little change I can make. Right, so can you see how this works? Although I've got Bednar as an attacker, because he's rated 62, he's actually a better, he's not as good as either of my attackers, but if I pull him to attack midfield centre, he's actually better than Rakusa, who's my main player. And I can actually squeeze another 6 points out of the team. So 6 points, that's about half a point average on the team. So it's learning when to play them in position and out of position. So the question I've got is, do I change him? Because that will then put Rakusa into attack, which he's not going to play. So then I'm going to have to... yeah, Rakusa will play attack midfield centre, and then Morgan can then get pushed down into the reserve attack. Brilliant. So yeah, I've spotted that with my you know, I genuinely spotted that there ahead and now. Did I explain this sufficiently? This is the points needed to reach 99 multiplied by the weighting. I'm going to just quickly show you the weightings, but I don't want to go into it too much. Right, if we look at goalkeeper, what we've decided, well, what I've decided so far, is that 21.6% of all of his stats is in handling. Sorry, his handling is going to be used 21.6% of the time, 21.6 aerial. He's only going to need strength for 0.09%. So what's going to happen is, if he needs, I'm just going to do this for sums. Right, 50, 50. So let's say he needs find a fairly right cross. I'll tell you what, let's look at a different player. Let's look at centre midfield. Right, he needs 40 points. So he's on 60. He needs 40 points to reach maximum in tackling, and he needs 60 points to reach maximum strength. So obviously tackling is higher, because his tackling would be 59, and this guy, it will be 39. Yeah, so he's got 39 in strength and he's got 59 in tackling. So this is the total amount needed to reach 99. So which one do you train? You're tempted to train tackling, you're tempted to train strength, because that's lower. What we'll do is we'll apply the stats. So we multiply that by that, and so there you go. So in actual fact, you'll be better off training tackling, even though that's a higher skill, because it's much more important stat than strength for a centre midfielder. Centre midfielder, it is an important stat, but not as important as tackling. So when this reaches, let's say, 69, so he now only needs 30, now you can start to train strength, and then when strength gets a little bit better, there we go, let's bring it down. So now we're training tackling again, but then maybe tackling gets maxed out, so it doesn't train anymore. So now we're just training in pure strength. That's briefly how the training works. There will be an option. I don't. If you've paused this, don't just completely ignore this. I'm still working on this, but this is going to be the default. There will be an option to change the default to settings that you want. So that's my training done. I can now sit back, and then I'm going to look at some of these players. 75, 71. It doesn't look like 9. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's going to get any new stats on the next training pass. Then that's fine. So 2 more videos I'm going to make today. One is youth training. Youth training is very similar to senior training. Oh, sorry, I meant to say the diary. I've done my senior training, so I just want to change that to a 5, and then I know it's complete. So join me in the next video where I will go on about the youth training. Okay, take care, guys.